And let's look at it with the backdrop of the conversation that has come up in the course of the week about whether or not the parliamentarians actually have been receiving, unapproved payments for this kind of work.
To start with that end, something I think it's a bigger picture than just limiting it to the scenarios now. One, if indeed parliamentarians have been receiving payments to approve or disapprove some members of parliament, that will be the height of misfortune. Let me put it that way.
Joe Wise confirms that they actually do.
Yes.
And his explanation is that this is like facilitation.
Yes.
Because the allowances take too long to come. So Chief of Staff, facilitates the work.
But the payment that is it made to all the members from both political device?
He says that is what happens.
Yes. Members. So committee members, it means both political device. That's what I'm saying, that it is both political parties. Yeah. If indeed the intention is to make sure, then what is the role of Parliament? Because if the executive nominates, and then there are people to be ministers, the role of Parliament is to make sure that they vet, to make sure these people are fit for purpose, they are competent. If they are now shedding that role because of financial inducement, then the whole intention of the framers of the Constitution for checks and balances is not being met. I do not think that there would be an instance where members of Parliament who are vetting certain persons would decide to approve people who do not otherwise qualify because of financial inducement. That is unimaginable that it can happen. In any event, in the last Parliament, there was a minister from the finance minister who, yes, you've even mentioned today, was vetted over 2 days. Let me use the appropriate, over 2 days. These payments that allegedly came, I'm sure may have even come within that period. But yet, it didn't stop the committee from doing the vetting over that period. And so it will be very weird, it will be very strange. My concern more is this, I don't think it is a new thing, but over the past few years, maybe 5-6 years, we've had people who have exercised or used the assets that they have on social media to say things that either they do not have first-hand information of, or things that they know are not true. And then they malign state institutions, they malign public officers, and then when they are asked to prove, Senior, with all due respect, I do not agree that, for as example, if the statement that was made by your client, that NDC persons, I'm not quoting, but he made statement
that statement is a statement that was actually wrongly attributed to him.
Yes.
That was not his statement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was a reported
statement. Yes. But what was the statement that he made? The statement that he admitted he made,
the first one,
suggested that there had been some form of payment of money that had gone on.
No. Just a correction.
Yes.
Just a correction.
Yes.
The statement was to the effect that, it's like, what about all the payments people are being asked to make to appointments committee? I said that was where the
is that also not subject to oral?
So who was directing that the payments must be made to, some payments must be made to facilitate?
That's what I'm saying, that it's a suggestion that there has been either a demand for payment or an attempt to make payment.
Yeah, naturally, that he said yes. He has evidence.
That is what I'm saying.
But at the proper forum, like the contempt, you are given opportunity to call evidence.
Senior, if we all want to build Ghana the way we want, steps must be taken by persons who say they have this kind of evidence to take them to the appropriate authority.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we will sit. Now, I have read this statement.
Yeah.
In my mind, I have a right to assume that indeed something may have gone on. And then Honorable Abib is sitting here. Maybe he may have demanded or he may have offered. Now, corruption is not, or the offense is not only when it is actually consummated. the attempt to do it is in itself an offense. And so if you have evidence that somebody has either attempted to demand or actually demanded or attempted to give or actually given monies in exchange for some form of favorable treatment at the vetting committee, it's a very serious offense or it's a very serious allegation. If we are building the democracy that people like you have invested...
Okay, so let's read the statement.
Yes.
So all the monies the ministerial appointees are being asked to pay to the appointments committee just to get approved, are those ones not affected by oral?
Yes.
Strange Republic. So in this statement, their interpretation as they put before the committee was that so all the monies the ministerial appointees are being asked to pay. They haven't said appointments committee is demanding.
I'm not saying the appointment committee is demanding. I'm saying that if there is a third person in between them who is going around saying that give me money, I'll get you approved, and you have the name and evidence for that person, submit it to the appropriate state agency. We were in this country.
So they are saying that this kind of thing, if there are people who have this kind of thing, this statement, they are saying what it means is that they are asking, shouldn't the oral receive these kinds of statements and investigate?
Well, that's the point.
As it stands now, I don't believe oral has a constitutional mandate. That is my position. I do not believe. But as it stands now, assuming that you have the only person who has put this out is your client.
Yes.
So I don't want to assume somebody else has that information.
What has he put out? Has he accused anybody of anything?
No, he is saying that there's... Can you put it back on the screen so we can read it? So all the monies that the ministerial, so all the monies that the ministerial appointees are being asked are being present continuous. It means there is somebody who is demanding the payment.
Yes.
Now, can you put out this statement if you do not know who is demanding the payment? Or if you've not been told who is demanding the payment.
And has he said is the appointment committee that...
No, I am not saying it is the appointment committee.
Yes, immediately...
No, I'm not making that point.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Immediately you said that...
No, but he mentioned the appointment committee.
No, the appointment. So it is possible there's a third person.
Exactly.
And I'm saying this third person is dangerous to our democracy.
Now to the
that is what I'm saying.
No, Bobby, you are right.
Yes.
To the extent that you say that there's a potential third party.
Yes.
Then this matter must be investigated.
That is
now,
what I'm making.
So you don't take the person who wrote this first thing to Parliament for...
No, Senior, we have gone beyond that.
Second, the committee does not have investigative power.
We have gone beyond that.
The committee is not a court of law.
What I am saying...
our strategy was that we were put us to a proper forum.
Senior, will your client be ready in the name of this democracy that we all want to build, submit the name of this third party to the appropriate state institution? The reason I'm saying this is that last year or 2 years ago, there was an allegation that when the motion for censorship of the finance minister was laid before Parliament, a very senior businessman attempted to bribe parliamentarians to forgo that motion.
You know who made that allegation?
A member of Parliament.
Okay.
And they didn't do anything about it.
Something was done. The OSP asked Andy Akubi, actually went to Parliament to do the investigation. Yes. And Andy Akubi was brought before the OSP, and he was asked, who help us do this? Yes. And Andy Akubi didn't cooperate.
That is how our democracy starts failing. That is the point I'm trying to make. Because if you have this information, and then you do not want to build this democracy, if it was an issue of Galamsey, you would have killed, not like literally.
Their question is this.
Yes.
In this statement, you agree that he has not accused the committee.
No, I agree. Okay, so I'm not dealing with...
So why were we there?
Since you agree that he has not accused the committee of wrongdoing, why is the committee angry and seeking to punish him?
Something. That is why I said I agree with the submissions that Senior made as to the jurisdiction.
Yes.
All that I'm saying is that taking it beyond Parliament, we have used social media to throw in some of these things to weaken these kind of institutions without taking the next steps.
Mahama Yarga said that there was one situation that he became aware of, that certain people who are in an industry in which a sector minister was going for vetting, said they want to help that person for the purpose of the vetting. And he asked them, has he asked you to help them?
But
and they said no, but you understand the language. So they wanted to do something. And you are being asked the question, since this issue has come up over and again, in fact, to a point where Parliament has to set up a committee to investigate, should it be taken in the manner that the committee took it?
I think that these are matters that affect the foundation of our democracy.
Exactly.
And it is not a matter that should be left for Parliament to determine. There should be proper investigations. If I was the chairman of the committee, because whether we like it or not, even though the allegations have not been made directly against the chairman or the members of the committee, every fair-minded Ghanaian would begin to think that it is possible that there may have been an attempt through a third party or directly to impugn the very process that people stay up. Yesterday, people were staying up from morning. I was in a board meeting. They said, let's hurry up and close because we want to go and watch somebody being vetted.
Yes.
People are interested in this because it is Ghana that we are talking about. And so we should take some of these allegations very serious.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. So, Habib, the person who made these allegations.
We are going to our guest on Zoom, but Habib.
Okay.